Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. So I will get started on the date. And today is third Wednesday. Wednesday, December 15th, 2021. And wow, man, a grateful day. I thank God for Him giving me just a calm spirit, you know, a reassurance in Him. I had a wonderful, beyond blessed day. And why that is because he chose to woke me up. He chose to have me come into him and walk in him and do him. I woke up this morning and I literally, it was like a rush wake up because I must did not charge my phone yesterday. So my alarm didn't go off. I tell you guys, every Wednesday we do women's prayer. And my alarm didn't go off. I thought it's because actually fell asleep on my phone. No, it was not charged. So literally, God like woke me up for me to find even all of that out. But it was just an amazing thing because I know, like right now for me, God is like, I feel it's like, what are you gonna do? Will you be like, oh, okay, well I overslept, I'm tired, so go back to sleep? No, I make a point to make sure I connect within the women's prayer group because it's like really more food for my soul. Being around the women now is such an amazing, wonderful thing. I have a great group of women at my church that I thank God for. Women from all walks of life, but we all walking for life. And it's an amazing, wonderful thing. It lets me know what my topic and everything tonight is going to be, how valuable I am in God, how He sees fit to just keep me in Him. And that's a valuable thing for me. You are valuable. God will use you. Me, in my love for myself, don't never look at it like it's a big thing. Don't never look at it as you're being conceited or anything. Sometimes it may be because our old thinking will have like, oh, I'm too much into myself. No, it's a great thing because when you start loving yourself and truly seeing yourself how God sees you, you are able to go out there and help people and love on people and be in purpose of what God needs you to do because you're no longer thinking selfish thoughts. You're thinking about, okay, God, how do you want me to go out there and help? How do you want me to go and proceed? How do you want me to just do you? How do you want me to be me? And for me, it comes so much better for me when it's coming from him because I now know what it is to be in communion with him, to literally just be, like I say, to working with him, you know, not having it where it's like God, I don't know what I'm doing and all that. I don't need to know what I'm doing. I just know that He's doing the doing, and I'm good with that. He's doing the doing in your life, and it's okay for Him to do the doing. You won't be let down. You won't be like cast away and put out. So let Him continue being Him in you and showing you who you are. I Okay, so I don't want to touch an area. I'd be real cautious of sometimes speaking out because I do. No, let me stop that. I'm gonna stop that. I can't help but be bold. My bold isn't always what you may think it be, and I have to stop myself. My boldness comes in different ways for me. So I met someone who may need some loving and guidance and everything. I'm not going to run from, oh, it's not me. I can't help you. I can only be myself. And being ourselves actually does help people because it will have them see that, oh, I can be myself in front of you. I can be myself not just in front of you, but I can trust myself and be with myself more than I ever thought. Because a lot, I know, we want to come with the facade like we have it all put together, it's all made for us, and everything is going. I love the fact that it took work for me. I'm being honest. I will not sit here like I always had it made. No, I was made. I was made. Really, this is exactly what it says. It's come as you are. God will do the changing. You ain't gotta come with this, because I know for myself, you come with this facade thing of, oh, I got it together, but you really inside of your head screaming. I never forget, and I explained it on here. My pastor's sister came up to me one day and asked me how was I doing, and I opened up my mouth and told her. And I love the fact that she did not go, because she was in like fast mode. She's always like kind of on the go. She's a busy woman, you know. But God will have it where when you open up your mouth and say, "Hey, I'm hurting right now. I don't know what to do." Be open and honest. Just as fast as she was moving, she stopped to talk with me. And she probably does not have no clue how much that meant to me. How much that meant to me. For me to be able to just voice it out. And walls started breaking down. God is going to send someone that's going to listen to you. It's an amazing thing where nobody's going to judge. They're just going to listen to you. I will. I will. Be okay if someone is just listening and not responding and saying anything back. Because I know for me, I don't want to be a reaction. I want to be proactive with it, with you. How can I help? And if all I can do is listen and provide whatever information that is needed, that's what I'm going to do. That's being proactive. I know a lot of times we just want to be heard. And then when you start opening up and opening up and opening up, it's like really emptying out some garbage that you didn't even realize you had there. Or even if you did realize you had it, you feel like you can release it off of you now. You don't have to carry the facade and all of that stuff and that baggage with you. You can let it go and watch how God will open you up. It may just be where, and you got to look at it, that it won't be where it always may be that one particular person. It may not always be myself. It could be someone else. You'll find yourself opening up more and more to people. You have a voice. Use it. Don't worry about, oh, I'm scared or anything. God will send the right person to you. And sometimes he may even send that person through someone else, a family member, a friend, or somebody who is like, hey, I know someone that been through this situation. Maybe you may want to talk. Maybe they just, need someone to hear them out. A lot of us just want that. I know for myself, I thank God that I no longer run from having relationships. No, nope. I told you guys how I found a tutor to help me with reading. Now I have a different one who's, man, a retired teacher as well. Like, God will send someone your way. When you start letting guards down and you start letting him open up you and do his job in you, he will have you. He's going to send people there who probably been here all along, but you just did not know how to utilize them, or it could be where God didn't have it, where it's the appropriate time for you to use them. He wanted you to be able to trust him, to come into him. So I'm going to continue being who I am. God is changing me how he needs me to change. God has you exactly where he needs you. You know, we all say that, like, oh, why me? And it's a song out there that says, why not me? Why not you? Why not you? You never know. Your situation could be where you see it as a crazy mess all over the place. I know for me, I would say that. My life is a crazy, all over the place mess. But it will help. I know. I thank God that he will still choose me to do him. This isn't me. I talk about myself. This is a journal process that means so much to me because I'm actually just speaking out things that I had in me. I have a voice. I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it. In different ways, I use my voice. But I know I have one. And I don't no longer, because it's like, oh, you don't have a voice, you know, nobody's going to listen to you. Your voice, my voice may not be for everybody, but I'm so assured of what God is doing in me that I know that it may not be for everyone. But that does not mean that I'm going to stop using my voice. I'm not going to stop it. I'm not going to stop spreading love and encouraging and being who I am. I won't do that. And especially if it's going to be to make someone else feel comfortable. I'm not dulling my light so you can feel like, oh, why are you doing that? If my light is too bright for you, get some sunglasses. I'm not going to stop because it's actually God's light coming up out of me. You don't have to pay attention. And I say that because you have to stop. Not only you know who I'm talking about. You out there, I'll never pinpoint one person. But I know that God has something in store for you. When you start letting things out, when you start trusting him, when you start, you're not even going to realize how strong you are. You won't even realize it. You literally will wake up one day like, how did I get here? When God start breaking things off of you and revealing more yourself to you, and more so revealing him to you, and how he was there with you all along. You literally, it's going to be like, I don't know how it happened, but you'll know it's him. You'll know that he has done something, because we can't do it on our own. I have so many great things happening in my life now that I know now. God, he has to be the one doing it. People who I am meeting, man, people who he's sending them in. I wouldn't even know how to contact some of these people. You know, how? Him. Nobody but him. Watch how he will shift and change things in your life. Watch how he will use every bit of you for him. And just, you'll be amazed. You'll be in awe. Like I definitely know that this is him. And man, to God be the glory all the time. I keep saying it because it's like, Lord, nobody but you. Nobody but him will take us and truly, truly save us. Truly know I have something in store for you. Come on, come, just come. Just come into me. Just come into me. He will start breaking things up off of us that we tried to cover up for years. And some of the things I'm learning now, I didn't even realize that I masked them so hard that it became a lump of clay. So let me hurt you first before you hurt me. So let me speak some nasty stuff out to you because it's bound before someone else will hurt me. So before you get it, let me build a wall up. Or as I would say, you be on my list for when it's the countdown for when I can't trust you. Because I will always say the only thing I can trust about people is that I can't trust them. When all along, it really, I would say, a lot of it was because I didn't trust myself, how I would want to just fit in and mold myself to someone. So you want to do this to me? Well, I guess I don't have anything better, so I'll let you talk to me in your way. I'll let you treat me in your way. Not knowing who I was and not knowing who he was in me. Man, I thank him for showing me who I am. And all of our past, yeah, God forgives us. He does. Stop holding on to it like he's not going to forgive you. Like, oh, I can't because you don't know what I did. I don't need to know what you did. He does. And I promise you, have a conversation with him. He will lift that weight up off of you. You owe it to nobody that why God is changing you, that you got to sit there and not change. You owe it to nobody for if he is doing something new in you and they sit there and say, well, why you act different now? I don't know. Nobody but God. I don't know what he's doing, but I just trusted him. And man, if I tell you, don't go into it. I have to even stop myself now because I don't want to be held in like this satisfaction bubble for man. I don't need to be in no bubble. I have full range of what everything God has for me, and I'm not classified in no one arena area. So my all over the place, God will use my all over the place because it's really his all over the place of what he's going to be doing. Whatever's troubling you, whatever that has you feeling like you can't get up out of a situation, that you have to do it, whether it could be finances, lack of education, lack of housing, lack of anything. Whatever your lack is not a lack. God uses all of it for him. Like I said, for me, where everyone was telling me, oh, you lack this, you don't have that, you don't do this, you don't do that. God is using every bit of that lack to launch me in where he needs me to be. So the lack is not a lack, it's a launch. That pullback of what you don't have and what you don't do and how you don't move and that's all pushing you back for when he skyrockets it off, you're going to be launched out into where he needs you to be. It is a wonderful thing for us to make sure we get up in the morning and thank him for his just grace and mercy. Have a good morning conversation with him. And at night, have a good night conversation with him. There's nothing wrong with talking and speaking with him. And watch how your talk will change. everything in you will just start moving in ways that you won't even be able to identify. But then before you know it, your identity and everything will kind of start changing to what he knew it was all along. It's the identity crisis thing. I suffered with it. I suffered with it. My nickname versus my government birth name. Like, who was I? I would kind of fit in with whatever name you kind of call me, depending on if you called me by my nickname, then I could act a certain way. If you called me by my other, then I knew how to kind of act in front of you. You know, I am who I am everywhere I go. I'm Audrey Elaine. I'm Audrey Elaine. I love me. I love what God is doing in me. I love the things he's breaking up off of me. I love the fact that I'm a continuous work, that I'm always on his agenda every day. Even when I'm sleeping, he's still working and moving in me. He's still doing everything he needs to do in me. Nothing changes. Nothing changes for him. He's consistent. He's moving regardless. And can't nobody change his mind about me. Can't nobody go and have a conversation about me to him. No. I'm my own unique individual when it comes to him. And so are you. And so are you. Man, I thank him so much. We don't have to live in the crazy mindset. We don't have to live in the what ifs anymore. Like they say, the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. No. Do it. Do him. Move now. Go forth. Someone spoke something really amazing in my life tonight. We were talking business things and just how do you build, business and your branding of it. And I'm like, you want to know something? What I do is I don't necessarily know how to pinpoint it. I just go by faith. If God tells me to move, I'm gonna move. If he tells me to sit still, I'm gonna sit still. I don't want to pinpoint one area or arena of where I am. The only thing I know is I'm doing business, and business starts with me. I am my brand, my own business of me. The You movement. You move. So I start with me. And then when I start with me, God is going to have it where, okay, because I tell you, the one big thing that I love is when God started trusting me with myself. I'm no longer going off of with anybody or any situation, because a lot of the times we'll go off a word of man or we'll go off of a feeling of what's happening, because I will be lying to you now. Like, God, are you still here with me? Are you moving? Where are you, God? He ain't leaving us. He here. His hand is always on us. He is steady working for us. Did you ever even think that while it's where we think it's a standstill in a gray moment, we ain't really standing? He's steadily moving us and guiding us. Stop with wanting to move in a fast pace. God knows exactly what he's doing, and according to his will, he's going to have it at a set appointed time. There's more work required in it, and it did you ever think that he could be working on, you got to have more faith in me. You got to have more trust in me. You got to be more open to share your story with others. You got to be open to let that go. You got to be open to get up out of this situation. You got to see yourself of value. You got to see yourself as a victorious woman. I'm not only speaking this to myself. You know who you are. When God starts telling you who you are, you better trust and believe it. Don't look at the circumstances and everything that's going on around you. You cannot be busy and focus on that. Remember now, it's a lot that goes on in life, but God has you do it all. Stop wanting to fix everything on your own. You can't do it. It's a repetitive cycle of you going for so far, and before you know it, you like this. Don't you want a better movement for you? A movement where literally you ain't even got to move. He's doing it for you. Everything as I sit here is just coming up to me of all of what I want to speak out and say. You are of value. You are of virtue. And you men out there, I feel a certain love for men and women. All of it is the same. But one thing I love about women is the fact of we can change. We can go through a birthing thing because we actually go through the birthing canal with our children as well. We have been through it as our own, but when we are, going through it with our children, we go through every emotion it actually is. You could be laughing, you could be crying, you can be upset, you could be hungry, you can be tired, frustrated, pissed off. And did you ever think that you're going through that new birthing stage right now? You're frustrated, you're hungry, you're angry, you're upset. But you're going through a new birth of you. God is changing you in some ways. You can't even explain it. Don't you see that light at the end of the tunnel? That you're coming out of the womb and you're going to come out. You won't have no clue when you out, like, oh my goodness. You'll be pinpointing some things, but it all won't still come together until some time later down the line. Oh wow, God. The reason why I know for myself that it is okay, how can I word it? He just wants to make sure, are you really glorifying him? He don't want you at any point to make it where it's you. He wants you to know that it's all him. You gotta watch it because you'll get caught up on, I've never done something before on my own, so this is me. I know that this is not me. This is all him. He has me moving. So I make sure I glorify him. I make sure at all. I could not tell you of how to do any of this other than to move by faith and to go off of him. I wrote in my journal this morning, and I wrote something phenomenal of, all right. So what a topic and everything is beyond ourselves, looking beyond ourselves. If you suffer insecurities, and make sure that you're not letting God tend to it, put it up. It doesn't work. So you have to make sure you give it to God, because it won't work for you trying to do it on your own. So that's what it is, by looking beyond yourself. The neon lights of the way is burning through our covers. Now, this is not me writing this. This is the book it has where you can read it, and then it goes where you put in the journal date. So after I read it, where it says, let him tell you your worth, that you're wanted, you're loving, he likes you, that you're pursuing, that he's fighting for you, that yes, he loves you, and he's a keeper. The way of him. So I put, Lord, I thank you. I want to live right with you. I don't want too much of me. It has to be you. It. I just want to make sure for myself that I am doing him. The assignment is not for me. I have an assignment that he has given me, but it's for whatever he needs it to be, not for me. When I say I'm so honored and all that, sometimes it's like I have faith that he's using me and he's doing it, but I laugh sometimes because I'm like, God, this you you sure you want to do this? I'm not doubting you, but I'm like, God, man, me, I thank you. I'm so I'm so amazed that you would use me. So, and the rest of it in here is just my own little personal note to him. But I tell him all the time how he is so good and how I love him. And it's so funny that he had me go to Matthew today because I'm going to read a little bit of Matthew for you. Because in my journal, it has Matthew 18:20. And it says, where two or three gather together as my followers, I am there among them. So that's the being on the one accord with him. All it takes is the one or two. And how about this? If it's just you, it's you and him. Be on the one accord of him to know that he's working for you. He has you. It's all going to be on his behalf. So can't nobody go and tell him, no, don't do that. That's not for them. They don't do. No, that's not how he works. And don't you let where your focus go on any of that. You need to be in line with him and have yourself focused on and in him. So I want to make sure that I am reading. Okay, so I want to say is, yeah, here we go. So it's Matthew 10. I'm going to read 30. So in every head, well, I'll go up to 29 about. No, 28. Don't be afraid of those who want to kill your body. They cannot touch your soul. Fear only God, who can destroy both soul and body in hell. What is the price of two sparrows? The ground. Okay. What is the price of two sparrows? One copper coin. But a single sparrow can fall into the ground without your. Okay, no. But not a single sparrow can fall to the ground without your father's knowing it. And the very hairs on your head are numbered. So don't be afraid. You are more valuable to God than a whole flock of sparrows. Everyone who acknowledged me publicly here on earth will also acknowledge. I will also acknowledge before my Father in heaven. And that brought me to just how valuable. It's the valuable. It's the how valuable I am in him. Like to see all that. I don't have to be afraid. I don't have to worry. For he knows me better than anyone. And what got me to that is the hairs on my head. If he knows all that, how are you going to let somebody know or let somebody tell you who you are when they don't know that deep about you. They can't go that deep. They can't go that deep. They don't know you. And how I would say people don't know you because a lot of us struggle with even knowing who we are at first. And until we know who we are, we'll go off of somebody else, because knowing who you are, you don't have to worry about what anybody is saying about you. I pray for them. I pray for them and let them be where they are. Not everybody is meant to be with you and go with you and be a part of what God needs you to do. He will have people come into your life that's going to speak exactly what needs to be spoken on His behalf into you. Because it's about what He needs done. So I love you guys. I hope you have a great, wonderful evening. Continue loving who you are. Be open and available for Him. Let Him do His work in you. You guys have a great one. I thank you so much for liking and sharing. I thank you so much for you being yourself. Let Him open you up. I guarantee you're going to love who you are. You're going to start seeing yourself in love and beauty, because that's how He sees you. That's how He knows you. He knows who you are. You better know who you are. And more importantly, you better know who He is. So you guys have a great evening. I'll be back on. Bye now.